Welcome, everyone. I go by the name of Camilio Salamander and my co-host, KB the Mark.
Because I'm a fucking mark for this shit.
You are watching the featured #1 wrestling podcast show on YouTube. With that being said, welcome to the D&B podcast. So, we got Raw, and Raw opened up with a promo from Drew McIntyre. Now, he was expressing how he was attacked last week by Mason T-Bar. MVP came in and that was going back and forth, but he was blindsided by Mason T-Bar. Now, I have a little theory going on, and I'm believing maybe this is the new Hurt Business. What if Mason T-Bar is joining the Almighty and MVP? I mean, later on tonight, they did unmask themselves, so I mean, it's very possible they could be going through a change right now. And I swore MVP said something about how they're gonna be on they're gonna make their appearance at Backlash too.
I don't know. I don't recall that part about Backlash. I honestly don't like this. I didn't like the promo from Drew. MVP. I honestly want the heels to not have anything to do with Mason T-Bar attacking Drew McIntyre and just them lashing out from pretty much being jobbed out as retribution. But they know that they can be way better than that. And with them getting unmasked, I hope it is a change to where these two are a tag team, because they look really good together. They look really good together, and I like that tag team finish of theirs. The ones they've been hitting on Drew McIntyre over the past 2 weeks. I really like that. And you do need more tags for your tag division, because right now your champions is Omos and AJ Styles, and I haven't seen a look at them in 2 weeks. So if you need a tag team to get them just some TV time, Mason T-Bar, to me, is the perfect team. Go ahead.
I think my theory is that this is that they're gonna be the new Hurt Business. You know, it's the upgrade from Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. These guys are bigger, taller, stronger, and we see that they handled themselves against Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre. So I mean, it's an upgrade. I think it's gonna be it's gonna take some weeks of actually putting it in play, but I can see that that's happening.
But I feel like that's just a discredit to the Almighty, because I want MVP to be true to his word. I had nothing to do with them. Make your heel believable. Like, your heel doesn't always have to be in shenanigans against the face. Like MVP said, he's already proven that he can beat you. Why would he have to go out and get backup for you? He's already proven it on the grandest stage. So in the storyline, it makes sense for Bobby Lashley to not need them, and that's what makes it believable, because he's already proven it.
It's really the part that, you know, when the Hurt Business was at its peak, you know, and they was putting everybody on the roster on notice, right? So maybe Mason T-Bar, they seen that Retribution was going down, so now they noticing what's going on with the Hurt Business. So they trying to prove to the Almighty, you know, since we know that you're not rocking with Cedric and Shelton anymore, let me show you that, you know, we got your back. You know, let us ride with you. It could be that, you know, the Almighty don't need them to do it, but they trying to earn their place into the group. It could be that.
I mean, and that would make sense, but it goes back to, why does the Almighty need them against Drew McIntyre? He's already proven that he's beat them. But I do like the absence of Bobby Lashley, because it makes you think he's sitting back really thinking about it too. Because I do like your idea. Now that I see it, it makes sense, because he's probably really in the back just sitting there like, they really could be a great addition to the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
And
it's not about that I don't need your help. It's just the fact, like, you know, y'all built the Hurt Business up and you want to continue to build that up. So, like you said, they need tag teams right now, and that's a great addition to them. It's a way of an upgrade from Shelton and Cedric. I'm pretty sure if they they throw them in the tag scene, they gonna have the belt and have a dominant run with it. Because I could just see that they're just more aggressive and everything. It just seemed like it.
Yeah.
It's just something new.
I can see that. I don't want it. I see what you're saying. I think it's a decent idea. I don't want it to be like that. I just want the Almighty to be like, I beat you once, I can do it again. I don't really need them and MVP to be true to his word. We had nothing to do with that. Give your heel some type of credit. That's all I'm saying. Give your top heel some credit.
We need something new in the tag division, unlike the next segment, the Viking Raiders versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. We already seen this match last week, and we got the same results. That's it.
Yeah, bad match. Repeat. Everything that Monday Night Raw is exactly what was in this match. It was awful. It didn't need to be there. You could have moved on to a different tag team. Honestly, you could have ran the Viking Raiders versus the New Day. I would have loved that. If we're going to bring them back, if we're going to bring them back, let's bring them back and let's make them look strong. You gotta be
strong facing the same person week after week after week.
Yeah, and then it's like, you pretty much squashed them last week, and then you pretty much you decided to give us an extra 3 to 5. It didn't make me think no different of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Bro, you guys you're getting jobbed out now to the returning team.
They kept calling him Prime Alexander.
He's not Prime Alexander.
Yeah. It would be Prime if they still had the momentum when they left the Hurt Business. Like, after they did what they did, it's okay for them to get beat up by Bobby. But if ain't no other team fucking with them, like they went out there and they still whoop a team's ass, then they would been like, I can understand that nickname. But nah, y'all left the Hurt Business and y'all still getting losing and stuff. I ain't won since y'all left.
Pretty much. They're the new tag team to get jobbed out.
But Raw, was basically the same. Like, you watched Raw last week, you watch Raw this week. Because next we had a segment between Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Basically, they had a match later on tonight, and they were just taunting each other. Rhea Ripley came out basically saying that Asuka can beat Charlotte, and that kind of pissed Charlotte off. But I mean, if you seen, like you said last week, if you seen any of Charlotte Hill promos, you seen them all. Like I said, you watched Raw last week, you watched Raw this week.
I cannot believe how you're just going to disrespect the Queen. This was a fantastic promo by Charlotte Flair, and I have to apologize because I did say last week, if you've seen one heel Charlotte Flair promo, you've seen them all. But no, she took it to a whole new level last night with her telling Asuka to shut up. I'm like, am I watching a Karen right now? Is that Charlotte's new gimmick? Is she like the blonde Karen, and then Bailey's like the black, the black hair Karen? Like, is that what we're getting? Your top heels on both shows are Karens outside of, Sasha Banks. I guess let me ask you before I say that, is Sasha or Bailey the top heel on SmackDown?
I would say Sasha. I don't really consider Bailey being the heel. I just, like, if anything, that little thing that she be doing, that ding dong stuff, I'll say she's more annoying. Like, you just backstage and she popping a ding dong, I could say that's more annoying, but being like a heel, I would say Sasha.
Okay, so the number 2 heel on SmackDown is like the brunette Karen. And Charlotte was on another level with this promo, bro. I don't see how you didn't like this one. It was just Charlotte to like 100, and I didn't know I needed Charlotte on 100.
It's the same thing. I'm just ready to see something new. Like, I mean, like I said, like it's like the same show as last week. Most of the matches was the same,
Bro,
except for the next one.
hold on, bro. Asuka called her a bitch. How can you not like that? Asuka cussing is what I didn't know I needed.
It was good, but I mean, it just wasn't nothing that I was really into.
So Asuka calling Charlotte a bitch is not what you needed in your life.
Nah, it was good, but nah. I'm just ready to see something different.
I'm disappointed.
Cause we've seen it already. We've seen Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. We've seen Asuka versus Charlotte so many times, and we've seen Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley so many times.
Hey man, it's gonna happen again. Just get ready for it.
But the next match was something new. I honestly didn't think I really wanted to see this match until they showed it. And we had Matt Riddle versus Randy Orton. Now this match was good, man. This match was good. It was hard hitting. You know, throughout the whole match, you know, Randy Orton, he was trying to hit the RKO. I love the storytelling. You know, it was more like the professional wrestler going up the MMA guy, because you know he was more. Matt Riddle's more technical on, like, he was just kept hitting him with the submissions, the chokehold, the sleeper holds, and everything. That was his go-to. And Randy Orton was actually wrestling. So I like the storytelling that they was doing. But I mean, it ended up in a roll-up pin, but in this case, it deserved it though, because you know Randy Orton, he's a vet. You know, when he retired, he's a Hall of Famer. So for him to put over Matt Riddle, I like it. But it's a difference between the roll-up pins that they've been doing versus this one, because this one's telling the story, and this is gonna be a feature feud that's gonna happen. And this one, it got my attention. I'm looking forward to this. And this match was A+.
So before I touch on the match, I have to first touch on the promo, which was fantastic. Randy Orton's backstage cutting a promo. I think it was, I want to say Kevin Patrick was just asking, you know, now that the Fiend's in his rear view, what's next for him? And he's talking about going after the WWE Championship. And out of nowhere, here comes Matt Riddle on his, what is that, a scooter?
Yeah, his scooter.
On his scooter, talking about, bro, now that the Fiend's out of your in your rear view, how about we form a tag team and call ourselves RK Bros? And I'm like, I didn't know I needed Matt Riddle and Randy Orton in my life. This is hilarious. And Randy Orton walking off made it better. To him going to Adam Pearce saying, I want a match, and not even knowing his name is what made it funny. Yeah, Randy Orton said, I don't even know who he is. I just want a match with him. Okay. So then getting caught in a roll-up off a reversal. Well, then he go for the RKO and got hit and got caught in the Beautiful. The storytelling being told that Matt Riddle would need to counter the RKO, which only needs to be hit once,
right,
into a roll-up. You know the seeds have been planted for a future rivalry, and that was an A+ match. And if they go at it at WrestleMania Backlash, I don't know how you even top this first one.
Right.
This match was phenomenal.
That's what I was saying, because it's like, you know, he came in not knowing his name, but now he knows his name. He got his attention now. And I like that, you know, and especially for Matt Riddle to lose his title. And I'm glad that they just didn't throw him in the shuffle and was just like, all right, we don't know what to do with him now. Now y'all actually doing something with him positive, you know. He can get the rub from Randy Orton, you know. Hopefully this will be the actual rub that'll get him to the main event scene, like how it was supposed to be with Kofi. So hopefully. But next we got Naomi and Lana going up against Naya and Shayna. Now, like I said before, you seen Raw last week, you seen Raw this week. This match, it was decent. I like Naomi and Lana. Their entrance, I love that. But I'm just getting sick and tired. If y'all just gonna be like, not Dana Brooke and Liv Morgan came out and they distracted Naya, and she came out running after them, and that caused them to lose. But I'm sick and tired of these. Like, I did something like that last week. It just been building up. It's like, if this was y'all gonna do with the tag title, y'all should have just let them lose on Mania. I don't know why y'all still giving us this mediocre content and all that stuff. It's ridiculous at this time. It's horrible. I'm just ready for something new.
I mean, I was gonna let you finish ranting. It seemed like you was getting started to go on a tangent. I was gonna sit back and just let you talk.
I mean, I can't. It's just making me lose lots of words because it's like I feel like I say this so many times. I feel like I'm saying the same thing every week. I mean, this match wasn't even long. For one, it's like I said before. I mean, how am I supposed to take these titles seriously if y'all don't take it seriously? And these are y'all properties. But it's like, I mean, it ain't giving me nothing to tune into. Usually when these segments come up, I'm just tuning off for real or not really paying attention to them. I mean, that's what y'all showed me that we should do because it's not entertaining. It's the same stuff week after week after week. They literally put this on for you to go and get something to eat or go use the bathroom or something. That's what it's like because there's no planning going into this at all.
Okay. You done?
Yeah.
Because I just want to make sure you're done because I'm getting ready to go and I'm going to be way harsher than you are. So are you done? You fully got it out?
Yeah.
Okay. How I want to get my words right because like you, I'm at a loss of words. How much more of a fucking geek can we make the women's tag team champions look? Shayna Baszler already did the fucking arm breaker spot. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke come out showing some BS footage from last week, correct?
Yeah.
Nia Jax gets off the apron and goes and chases after them. The whole time, Shayna Baszler and Lana are just sitting here looking like fucking geeks. Why can't Shayna Baszler lock in a careful to clutch during all of this BS time that you have these dumb ass segments between and what's going on in between the match? For Nia Jax to get off the apron and leave instead of handling her business and then going after them. No regular human being is going to stop what they're doing and go chase after somebody who's like 50 feet away from them. They're going to handle the business at hand first and then worry about that at a later time. Why the fuck would Nia Jax get off the goddamn apron and chase after it? What does that do for her? That just makes you look like a fucking geek.
And then when they lost, she came out like, what you expect? I was so done after that point. Like, I would have. It's honestly after they lose the title, they gotta go back to NXT to even build back up their credibility. It's that point now.
I never thought I would say this, but please get Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax off my goddamn TV.
Yeah.
Get them off my TV. I don't want to see them on my TV. You have completely destroyed the credibility of the champions. They need to drop these titles immediately. Like, I don't know who wrote that. I don't know why Vinnie Mac would even approve of that. That makes no sense. And you know what? This is the second week in a row they've had a finish that makes no sense. Last week with Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke leaving after Nia Jax slipped off the apron.
Right.
To this week with Nia Jax walking off from her tag team partner to chase after these two women who are 50 feet away from her. She's never going to catch them. Rey Mysterio probably wouldn't even have been able to catch them. That's a good 50 feet. Why would she leave? Why wouldn't she win the match first? And then her and Shayna Baszler go handle what needs to be handled. No, we got to make the women's tag team champions look like fucking geeks. and Nia Jax has to leave, and Shayna Baszler takes the pinfall against Naomi. When she could have locked in a Karafuda clutch, when Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke were showing the footage, and we could actually still had a match going on. You see, we could have even had that angle if Shayna Baszler won the match while the footage was being shown. Then Nia Jax getting off the apron and chasing after them makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Because they already won the match. Get this shit off my television immediately, as soon as possible. This shit does not belong in wrestling. The writers need to be fired, because that was bad. And what's worse, last week's or this week's?
I was really saying last week, because that didn't really make no sense. Like, she tripped over the apron, and they just walked out and just took the count out. Like, and this I would have just ran over and pinned her.
I mean, well, she was outside. She fell outside.
It still was stupid. They just walked out. They should have got the count out win and said they took in the count out.
But how stupid is this? She leaves in the middle of the match to go and chase them 50 feet away from her. What human being is doing that?
We seen distractions in tag team matches before, where the person on the apron does get distracted and possibly leave for the moment. So I'm not really shocked about that, but I'm really shocked because they did basically the same thing 2 weeks in a row. But I would really say last week was really stupid, because that really didn't make no sense, and that was really a waste of TV time, what they did.
Bruh, Nia Jax getting down from the opposite ends. She wasn't even on the same side as them. On the same side, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a shorter distance, you know what I'm saying? But she had to get off the apron, go all the way around to the ramp area, and walk up the stage. What human is doing that? Would that even cross your mind?
No.
You're going to handle the business at hand, right?
I wouldn't have given her time of day.
I mean, you're going to handle the business at hand, right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It makes no sense. From a logical standpoint, it makes no sense.
The only thing I can really say that maybe, and that's a real if, that can save this feud, or even save Nia Jax and Shayna character right now because of the dumb stuff that be going on. If they really turn this into a feud between the two and actually have us a good build up to it and a good payoff match, then that's the only way I can really see this really paying off. But at the same time, it's not really a payoff, because at the same time, when y'all doing this, y'all also destroying other tag teams that could be worthy of the belt.
The worst part is that when they do that feud, the payoff is going to be Nia Jax winning.
Yeah, of course.
Instead of giving it to Shayna Baszler.
And they should give it to Shayna.
They should.
But one thing that kind of, after this horrible match that happened, the next thing that made me feel good about Raw, it was the Miz TV segment. This was actually good. It got interrupted by Damian Priest, and he came out and he started speaking Spanish and stuff, right? And then I like when Maurice spoke French, and Miz was like, "That's French." That was just funny to me. But this segment, I mean, it was good. And Damian Priest, after WrestleMania, he is getting a push, so I can see them going up at WrestleMania Backlash and Damian Priest going over and going up from there. He gonna get this year, calling out now. This year he winning the United States champion. He might even take it for Sheamus.
I can see that. I can see him taking it from Sheamus.
They keep the belt on him that long.
I can see that. First off, anybody who is even associated with the A-lister receives instant elevation. The Miz is just that damn good. He's awesome. this promo, the Miz TV segment, it was okay to me. I didn't really get a kick for them speaking the different languages. I just thought, oh, they're just speaking in their native language, the language that they know the most.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing really impressed me about it. Even the champagne being thrown in the face of Damian Priest, I'm like, we've done that before. And I've seen, here recently in my wrestling ventures, I've been seeing people get cracked over the head with champagne bottles. So you guys throwing a little bit of champagne and somebody getting cracked over the head with a bottle is two totally different things. So, it was okay. It's nothing I would gawk at, nothing I would talk about again. It was just an okay segment on an okay show,
So the next segment, we had Elias versus Kofi. Now Elias, he came out with Jackson Riker, of course, and then the New Day was together. Now I ain't really care for this match, but one thing I did like about it is when Xavier Woods was coming out playing the guitar. That was funny. But that's really it. I mean, I ain't really care for it. They keep having Elias and Jackson Riker as like, once somebody come up in the match, Jackson Riker in the match, and then Elias is on his ringside, they might as well put them in the team. Y'all need tag teams. Make them a team. Make them a legitimate team. This your time to change up Elias gimmick or whatever. This your time to do anything for real, because y'all need tag teams. So, they've been together for like almost a whole month. So, or probably longer. But might as well put them together.
Bro, this match was bad. Like the last, I want to say 2 minutes, to me looked like a botch fest. They couldn't get the SOS right. He went for the Hurricanrana. I don't know if that was supposed to be like caught into a power bomb. I don't know if Elias was supposed to catch him. The Hurricanrana that he tried to do when he was on the top rope. I don't know if that was supposed to be catched into a power bomb and then led to the elbow, or if he just botched the Hurricanrana. I'm just sitting back like, ooh, this match is bad. And I don't want to put it on Kofi because Kofi's too good in the ring. Right. That's just Elias. Elias needs work. He needs to go back to the he needs to go back to the performance center, and he needs to put in some work. I don't believe Kofi was that bad. And the SOS is one of Kofi's best looking moves. I've never seen him really botch or even try to struggle to really get that move. And that might be the story that they were telling. But even when he pulled it off, it looked like he fell on his neck. And I'm like, I've never seen Kofi take an SOS like that. I'm like, this is just bad all the way around. This match was awful. Even Austin, even Xavier Woods on the base it didn't save it. It was still bad all the way around.
So the next segment, we got a promo from Alexa Blitz. And she introduced this little puppet called Lily. Now I'm really curious of what's going on with this whole feud with The Fiend, because I'm hearing that The Fiend is technically officially dead and he's not coming back for a while. And then I heard, Bray Wyatt is supposed to come back as just Bray Wyatt. Then I heard it's like a new version of The Fiend that's supposed to come out. I'm just confused, but I'm curious and I'm really, really intrigued. I just want to I'm curious. I want to see what's going on now. They got my attention. This is the best thing on Raw for a while. I think this is the main segment that's really carrying the show for real, besides the Almighty.
You talking about Alexa Bliss and Lily?
Now I'm just the whole Firefly Funhouse thing since they even introduced it. Like it's one of the main segments that been carrying the show. That's like never disappointing.
I'm confused about Lily my damn self. I'm trying to figure this out. Those bad Photoshop pictures didn't do nothing for me either. Like, what is this? You guys could have just made it seem like she was just an invisible doll back there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she's just now, and this is Alexa Bliss showing us what she looked like. But you had to do a bad Photoshop job and Photoshop them in there. Like, who approved that? There's no way. I would have never had those pictures on Monday Night Raw. Or at least not the photoshopped version. I would have had the original ones and Alexa Bliss just pointing out where she is. But it's like there's nothing there. It really shows how demented she could be. Like there she is right there. And we're like, there's nobody there. And you're like, oh my gosh, she's seeing shit. She is truly demented. Like the Fiend really woke up a whole different side of Alexa that we never knew was there. Like, but no, you have to do a bad Photoshop. See, this is how WWE tries too hard. You know, instead of letting it come natural. Because if there's nothing in the picture and she's pointing at the picture, like there literally is, she's right here and right here, you know, and you're like, you're really thinking to yourself, there's nothing there. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about?
I think that would have been better.
Yeah. Because it makes you make the connection instead of them giving it to you. Yeah. Now you got Alexa Bliss looking demented, like, oh my gosh, she's seeing shit.
I think it's really WWE thinking too hard, like, okay, what if they don't get it? What if they don't get it? That's why they actually put them there. And like, so she putting it, it's right there. I think that's why, because they thinking like, what if they don't get it? What if they don't understand what we're trying to say? That's what they're afraid of.
Yeah, and there are fans that are going to think like that, but you got to think majority of the fans are going to put it together. Like you put it together and me explaining it to you.
Yeah.
Like, if you'd have seen that, that's the exact, thought that you would have got. Like, oh my gosh, she's really crazy. And it took the Fiend waking her up for us to see this side.
Right. But next we got, a 2-for-1 match. We got Drew McIntyre in a handicap match versus Mason T-Bar. Now this ended in a disqualification with Drew McIntyre coming out the victor, but Braun Strowman ended up coming out and even in the odds. But long story short, this match ended by disqualification as well, but Mason T-Bar won. So it's like they traded win for win, kind of. But, to me, I believe Mason T-Bar, they held their own pretty good. And we touched on this in the beginning of the show, but, I'm really predicting that they maybe are another addiction of the Hurt Business. Even though Bobby Lashley and MVP don't have nothing to do with it, I believe they're like showing Bobby that they want to earn their way in. And, how else to earn somebody's respect than to take out their enemies. Even though if you don't need their help, I'm showing you, like, we can have our own too. But we rocking with you, Bobby. So I think this is the future of it. And they already got that mask and stuff off, so they let everybody see their face, so they ain't going back to the mask now. So it's just like a transformation. I hope WWE do it right, and I hope they take it week by week. So this week their masks are taken off, so they come back out next week and they say retired but no mask, and then another match happened where like little by little, they getting rid of retribution, what it represents. And then eventually they go up with Bobby and stuff, and then we see the total change. They start wearing suits, attire got gold in it, so forth and so forth.
I mean, it sounds good, but I don't want any affiliation with the Hurt Business, like I said earlier in the podcast. The only thing good about this match is the fact that Retribution got unmasked. That's literally the only thing. Outside of that, there was nothing. There was nothing good about this match. It pretty much shows you WWE's vision of booking matches, 50-50 booking in one match. Yeah. They literally gave you 50-50 booking in one match. So that's how they're really showing you what they really think right in front of your face. They're not even trying to hide it week by week. They just pretty much gave it to you in a match, 50-50 booking. Nothing impressed me. Like, they didn't have to win via disqualification, but hey,
But after that, we got Damian Priest versus The Miz. And this match was good. I wish they would have saved it all for WrestleMania Backlash. I already know we're going to get that match again at WrestleMania Backlash. But, The only thing that they can do at WrestleMania Backlash to make this match, to make that match better, is really, I don't know. It just depends on the stipulation in the match. But I mean, I just wish they would have held off on it.
This match was okay. No, you know, I pretty much seen The Miz and Damian Priest enough. I got enough of it at WrestleMania in the tag team match. I got enough of it last week in the handicap match. And I just got enough of it this week. Nothing really impressed me. Damian Priest looks like a monster, which he should, because you do need somebody to eventually step up to challenge the almighty Bobby Lashley here soon after he handles Drew McIntyre one more time. I can definitely see them moving Damian Priest
to sleep.
I believe that.
Sleep. Hurt, lock, sleep, repeat. Hurt, lock, sleep, repeat. Hurt, lock, sleep, repeat.
I do agree. It's definitely going to go that way. And once we get Drew McIntyre out the way, then I can definitely see them sliding Damian Priest into that slot as someone who can take Bobby probably to SummerSlam before you really get Bobby Lashley up and going for, getting ready for the second half of the year.
You know what I think they should do with Bobby Lashley after this feud with Drew McIntyre?
What's that?
Well, he should come out with a t-shirt, right? That next week. Remember how Randy Orton had his t-shirt of like the Legend Killers, and on the back it was like all the legends that he had beat with the X out. He should have it like that on the front. It should say Hurt Lock, Sleep, Repeat. On the back it should have everybody he put to sleep with the Hurt Lock.
That'd be a lot of superstars.
Yeah, but it'd be sweet. I mean, like the main ones are like the Drew McIntyre, like the big ones, the main eventers. On it, not the jobbers or whatever.
I mean, it would look even better with the jobbers though, because you got to make the list long.
Yeah,
he can just put the most important people either at the beginning or at the end.
And the font got to be like that big, dude. But right after that, we had. Now, before I get into this, I want to talk about Sheamus. Now, Adam Pearce. At this point, I believe he should have just been either the GM of Raw or SmackDown or both, because he on TV and making calls like he is.
Hey man, it's Postman Pierce.
But he basically told Sheamus that he had to do an open challenge match. Now this is funny that because me and you was just talking about that, and I was saying something about an open challenge match. And you said that's something that for Sheamus, I did say something about Sheamus doing an open challenge match. And you said that's something that only faces do. And that's funny that Adam Pearce is making him do it. And we were just talking about that. But, I'm gonna butcher this name. I'm gonna call her Herberto. He came out and he was gonna be the one to face him. But Sheamus went ahead and beat him up badly before the match even started. So this is a future feud that's gonna happen. And I really believe that they really gonna give Herberto the push that he really deserved, that he was supposed to get in the beginning during the Rey Mysterio and Andrade feud and all that stuff.
Listen, bro, it's something about when you are super skinny and you go away and you come back super jacked. Mm-hmm. It automatically catches Vince's eye. I had seen a video of Humberto Carrillo, of working out, and I actually seen it before he had television. And I'm like, no, I had to watch the video 4 times. No, that is not the same Humberto Carrillo that was with Rey Mysterio and Dominic getting jobbed out when Seth Rollins was trying to poke out Rey Mysterio's eye. Mm-hmm. That can't be the same one. And it's the same one. And I'm like, oh man, he came back huge. It reminded me, remember when Jinder Mahal came back and won the WWE Championship from Randy Orton. Jinder Mahal just came back. You're like, damn, Jinder Mahal is huge. Same thing with when Drew McIntyre came back to WWE. You're like, that's the same Drew McIntyre that got fired? Yes, that's the same Drew McIntyre that got fired. It's something when you come back jacked, it automatically catches Vinnie Mac's eye. I hope they do give Humberto Carrillo the push that he deserves, because I'm excited to see what his power game looks like, and did he retain the speed that he always had? Because if he has the speed with the power game, he might be dangerous in that mid-card division if they book him right.
Yeah, because everybody know if you sign to the WWE, everybody know if you want to push, you got to get the muscles up.
Facts.
Everybody know that. It happened to the best of them. You know, Drew McIntyre, he was the chosen one, and he was ill built. And then once when he left, came back jacked. Same thing, Jinder Mahal. You know, he got big, so they might get him a good mid card push. So we really about to see. But now we got the main event, and we had Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. Now, this match was won by Asuka due to Rhea Ripley interference and then a roll up pin. Now, Charlotte, she was pissed off, and she started taking her anger out on the referees, beating them up and everything. But I did hear that she got suspended due to it. Now I don't know the real story behind it because she's getting written off of TV for a while, which is why this segment happened. But this is just one of the things I just think about. They writing her off of TV. She just returned 2 weeks ago. What was the point of having her return if y'all just gonna write her off? Hopefully, really something to it though.
I think it is. I think you're looking at the details too loosely. She was fined $100,000 and she was suspended from television. Why? For beating up a referee. She snapped. She had a Karen moment. She had an ultimate Karen moment and snapped on a WWE official.
Hey, she fucked him up, didn't she?
Yeah, she beat his ass. And that's the story. Now you made Charlotte look like this ultra badass. Like, oh my gosh, she's willing to beat the fuck out of refs. She says she's had a new change in attitude and demeanor. This proved it. This isn't regular Charlotte.
Yeah.
This is Charlotte on 100.
Yeah.
Charlotte is pissed. Like, and you know, like you think we've seen Charlotte pissed. Like, no, this isn't just regular pissed Charlotte. This is different Charlotte. This is the Charlotte who has truly turned to the dark side. To the point she's not giving a fuck. She's gonna hurt whoever she needs to in order to get her Raw Women's Championship. And you know what? I like this Charlotte. And I've been a Charlotte fan. I've loved Charlotte since her NXT days. But this Charlotte, this is a different Charlotte. And I'm here for it. Did you see her new robe? That ain't the typical Charlotte Flair robe. That ain't the typical Flair robe. That had a little bit of the new Charlotte in it. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm excited. This ain't just to write her off TV. This is just to make her look like a badass. But you know what? I've often wondered, do they really pay the fines?
Probably not. I don't know. Not. I don't think so because it's
it's storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, storyline.
But I think what they like. So since you explained it like that, to make her like an ultimate badass, or like you said, this new Karen thing. Since she's like technically suspended, they might have her pop up on every show, every Raw and stuff like in regular clothes because she ain't supposed to be there. Security gonna try to remove her and type of stuff, but she attacking Rhea Ripley and Asuka. Yeah,
like on their way into the building.
Yeah. Or even like in the middle of their match or whatever. If Asuka got a match with somebody else and then out of nowhere, Charlotte attack her.
I mean, you can do that too because technically it's the performance. Well, it's the Thunderdome, so you can actually do that because there aren't any fans.
Right.
So, she just snuck in. Makes sense. There's nobody there. It's a reporter.
But KB, you got to get Raw rating this week. What would it be? Last week?
They did way better than last week. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. This was a decent show. Had some decent things. The good and the bad pretty much canceled each other out for it. this was just an all around decent show. I didn't feel I didn't feel like it was annoying me, and I guess that's a good thing for Raw. Mm-hmm. Though it had its parts overall, it was just a blah show. It was in the middle.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretty much agree with you on that. Yeah, I mean, same rating. It was really, really decent. Nothing too much. But your match of the night, who would you give it to?
I'm gonna give it to Matt Riddle versus Randy Orton. That match was awesome, and I don't know how you top that at the pay-per-view. If that's what you're gonna give it, if that's what you're gonna give us, I don't know how you top that when that first match was awesome.
Like we got the same. I can't. That was out of all the matches on Raw. That's the best match that they actually gave us. That was like worthy. That actually had me sitting there watching like, ooh, like I didn't know like I really didn't know I wanted to see Matt Riddle versus Randy Orton until they gave it to me. Like I wasn't expecting that at all. Right. But wrestler of the night,
Miss Charlotte Flair.
Oh, okay.
Woo!
All right, so I'm going with Matt Riddle. You know, he got the match of the night. He got the wrestler of the night for me. He got the win over the vet, win over Mr. RKO himself, Randy Orton, the Viper, the Apex Predator.
Well, you know, the only reason he lost is because Matt Riddle's not a legend yet. You know, he's a legend killer. You know, Matt Riddle's not a legend yet. That's the only reason he lost.
Matt Riddle, he proven himself. Like they said, like Matt Riddle, if you're gonna beat him, you gotta beat him within like the first couple minutes of the match, because as long as the match go on, Matt Riddle's stamina increase and his wrestling get better. Like his match get better and his technique get better as the match go on.
I would argue this.
One thing you don't want to do is have a lengthy match with Matt Riddle.
I would argue the same thing for Randy Orton. I've seen Randy Orton clutch out a bunch of matches that went deep into the waters.
That's why this feud about to be great. Because it's really gonna be like that. Matt Riddle, he gonna get the rub. I'm telling you.
I will hope so. I will hope Randy wanna put him over.
He got to. But we got some rumors of the day. Now, Vince McMahon, aka Vinnie Mac, he was like significantly late for Raw yesterday, and he missed the creative meeting. And according to Fightful Select, excuse me, he made several changes when he got there, and that's why we didn't get the advertised match, Braun Strowman versus Randy Orton. That's why we got Randy Orton versus Matt Riddle. Now, I'm not upset with this because, you know, we've seen Braun Strowman and Randy Orton before. But this is a good call on either Vinnie Mac or whoever put this match together of Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. So I'm not upset with that. But dang, he was late that he missed the creative meeting though. Like, dang, what was he doing?
I mean, bro, it's Vinnie Mac. I mean, at this point, he'd have put in so many years. He can be late, and if he don't like what he sees, he's gonna rewrite it. Let's just be happy that this time it turned out into a success with the Matt Riddle versus Randy Orton match. You know, so many times he's rewritten the show, and we're like, what is this that we're watching? And you know, most of us is turning off. But you know, he hit it. He found a gem on this one. So I'm gonna give Vinnie Mac all the credit. You deserve it. And he's off Vinnie Mac. If he want to be late, he can be late. You don't talk to the owner of the company for being late.
Fightful Select also reports that there was tons of changes to last week Raw, and WWE was shorthanded, and the case was because wrestlers was banged up and it wasn't clear after WrestleMania, and a couple was pulled due to precaution of COVID. So that's the reason why, you know, last week we got the Bobby Lashley versus Matt Riddle match. It wasn't originally planned, but just because wrestlers not being clear during the time, and some may be experiencing COVID symptoms after Mania, a lot of wrestlers was pulled, so they end up just throwing some matches together.
I mean, it makes sense. I appreciate WWE doing their due diligence and not just still having them on the show. And, if they're banged up, they're banged up. It is sad because you forget how many people are injured until they come back. I don't think WWE's been working with a full roster for like a year and a half.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, COVID kind of messed up everything. I said it last week. I really believe COVID messed up, the Raw after Mania. It messed up Mania in some type of way. I think it messed up call-ups getting called. It messed up returns. All of the potential stuff that we always get. That's why I think the Raw and SmackDown after Manias was like bad.
Right.
But the last rumor, at WrestleMania when Mandy Rose slipped, WWE Network edited that out now. But if you watch it on Peacock, it's still on there. But it just goes to show you that, I don't know why they having this feud with Nia Jackson. They showing the clip on it just to edit it out on WWE Network.
Well, WWE Network is just for the people overseas. If you're in the United States, you can still see it. But it is messed up, though, to have a feud about it and then you cut it out. Yeah. Like, that's the thing with WWE. And like I've said before, once they get something to happen naturally, they shove it down your throats and then they take it away from you.
All the time. But, all right, guys, that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of D&B Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, we'll see you on the next one.